going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? All right. How's everybody doing today? How long does the car buying process take to complete? Patrice, it can go as fast or as slow as you want. We can get it done in about 30 minutes, or it can take days, weeks, months. Amber and Gigi, I've enjoyed your videos. It's convinced me to stop buying and just lease. That's awesome. Hopefully the content has been helpful in a way to get you to look at leasing. But I'm happy to hear that. What's the most expensive loan someone was unqualified for? Unqualified for? Oh, I mean, well, that happens every day. But what car do you drive? I'm driving an EQS 450 SUV. So we've got 6 new ones out so far, and it sounds to me like we've got number 7 cooking right now. I can kind of hear a deal that I've been working with Angela about to come to fruition. So that's good. But Jared, what's going on down at SMU? Are you in class right now? Are you in class on Instagram or on Facebook? Matthew, we are located in Mercedes-Benz North Olmsted, which is in Cleveland, Ohio. Jamie, no, I did not get work done on my nose. This is the nose I was born with. So, what's the biggest loan write-up done personally? Again, I'm not sure. I mean, we've had a couple $400,000 plus loans. Are your out-of-state offers more expensive than if you lease bought in-state? No, our price is the same no matter where you live. The only difference is that if you're out of state and you want us to ship the car to you, then there would be shipping included, which you wouldn't have here locally. So, Jared, how's the EQS treating you, brother? Matthew, can you hear me over on Facebook? Matthew, we've got 6 new so far today. I haven't checked in on the CPO team. Working on number 7 right now. I've got a couple of people actually here in the showroom right now. So, with 45 minutes left in the day, let's see if we can get to 10. Leasing out of state can be difficult. We have really worked hard on getting that process perfected with our out of state registering and titling. And that's we started working with a company called Dealer DMV, which has been revolutionary for us. It's really helped. We've always done it well, but there's a couple states that are a little tricky, and that has really helped us with those states specifically. So you got to have your out-of-state process on point if you're going to do a lot of out-of-state business like we do. So I work at construction equipment, and your advice works across industries. Good work. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, Jared had to leave a little early today. Jared. Classic Jared today, which you'll see that actually, I don't know if I was filming or not, but you'll see that in the video here eventually. Do you think lease brokers are worth it as a buyer? I mean, again, just keep in mind that if you work with a broker, that they're making money, right? They pitch you on the concept of skip the dealership, work with me, but they're taking a price that they get from a dealership and then they're marking it up and selling it to you, right? So it's worth it, I guess, if you just don't want to deal with the dealership, but I would say if you can find a great dealership and work with them, then you can skip that whole process. So if you want to get a hold of me, David, there's a link. If you go to my link tree, which, link in my bio, go to my link tree, and then there's one of the links in there is work with my team and I. And that'll just take you to our dealership website, and you can just put in your information there, and my team will get in touch with you right away. They'll get the process started, and then I get involved from there. So they'll do a little bit of the basic fact finding, get to know you a little bit, figure out what you want to accomplish, and then I get involved from there. So that's the most efficient way for us to do it. If you reach out to me directly, I'm just going to direct you there anyway, because I just don't have an efficient way to do everything myself from the very beginning. I need to get involved a little later in the process. Richie, what's going on? Good to see you. From Cortez, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Yeah, Juan, Jimmy Haslam and Miles Garrett's saga is that's gonna be something. Is there something like mileage reimbursement on a lease car if I have to bring it into the shop for multiple warranty repairs? Well, if you have to bring it in for multiple warranty repairs, presumably you would have a loaner car, which is kind of always nice, right? That's miles that you're putting on a loaner car and not your own car. So that's sort of a mileage reimbursement in some ways. But, if you have the same problem over and over again, then eventually you might get to a point where you can get the manufacturer involved for potential buyback. Lowest down payment on a lease, Jumpmans, you don't need to put a down payment on a lease. You really don't have to put anything at signing if you don't want to, but I would recommend at least making your first payment on a lease, because leasing is unlike an installment loan, where an installment loan, which would be like a credit card payment or not really a credit card payment, but a personal loan or a mortgage, but credit cards work in this way, where you pay the month after you use the thing that it is that you're paying for, right? So you use your credit card or you get your mortgage statement a month after you used it. Whereas a lease, you pay a month ahead, which means that if you do a lease today, your first payment is due today. And so when you make your last payment, then 30 days later, your lease would officially be over. So if you do a true zero at signing, then you're actually financing your first payment on the lease. Cedric, thank you for watching the videos daily. I appreciate you for that. That's awesome. How hard is it to get a G63 right now? Well, it's not hard if you don't mind paying somewhere between $30,000 and $75,000 over MSRP. You can go get one. But to get one for MSRP, it's impossible. If you have an accident and have to get a new car, lease down payment is a loss. Yes, that's why we don't recommend big down payments on leases. David, completely understand. Love your videos, love your content. I'll send my information over. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Let's see. Speaking of out-of-state deliveries, what do you do to help clients get acquainted with their new car? Do you have any issues with other MB dealers not helping your new car customers? So we offer remote deliveries after the fact. So we have a delivery team that will call and they will review the vehicle with you over the phone, or they will do a FaceTime with you where they will get in a comparable car here at the store and kind of show you around your car as if they were there with you. So, it can be as involved or uninvolved as the buyer wants, right? So some people take advantage of that. Other people just don't really have the interest in doing it. So everybody's a little different. Since the Sealy 53s are hot right now, we have been selling those like hotcakes. And they lease, depending on the model, anywhere from, and term, $1,000 to $1,500. What's up?
Do me a favor. Can you change the MSRP? I don't know where I was looking, but it's $55,740, not $55,675. I cannot, because you literally said something. How did you know?
Because I just know, Lorena.
Oh my God.
I just know.
I was looking at a lot of cars in my defense.
Yeah.
In my defense.
See, in your efforts to skip getting help from me, you end up.
Hear it.
Yep.
I actually was trying to avoid you telling me what you always tell me. Oh, build the car. This is why I don't like building cars. It's
you have build them, get them as close as you can, and then we will fix it from there.
Smell this.
I don't. Ew. No, don't be that person. This smells disgusting, so smell it.
Just smell it. It smells so nasty. Like, whose nasty hands are on here?
Cool. Can't wait to smell it then. All right, it's fixed.
Thanks, bro. Oh, no.
Wow, you're off to it. You're just really dominating today. Are you gonna go sell a car or what? You're just gonna come in here and terrorize my office. All right.
Where's my printout?
Oh, you want me to print it out too?
Yeah, thanks.
Which position has more earning potential? So, salesman or finance? Well, finance has a higher floor, but sales has a much higher ceiling. What? Lorena, it's true.
Okay.
You know I see all the paychecks, right?
And I guarantee you that ceiling is definitely higher than ours.
No.
Okay.
No, sales is much higher. See, that's what salespeople that don't sell a lot of cars think. But salespeople are uncapped in what they can earn, and finance, you could argue, is technically uncapped, but it's not. They rely on the deals that in total come from the store. But where finance gets paid a very small percentage of what the store does overall, whereas salespeople can just keep selling more and more cars, and have unlimited earning potential. So, Chris, thank you for the tiny Dinies, brother. I appreciate that very much. Very kind of you. If I had to drive something other than a Mercedes, what would I pick? A Porsche. I would pick a Porsche, and then after that, a BMW. Do you think the G580 will get more range for 2026? No, it won't get. If it's going to get more range, that would be several years down the road. That would be several years down the road. Which Porsche? I would. My dream Porsche would be a 911 Targa GTS. I love the Targa. Also uncapped on how little you can earn. Yes, G Money, that is very true. That's why I was saying that finance has a higher floor, because you will earn, a floor just based on being there and receiving all of the deals that will come to you, through no work of your own, and there will be a certain amount that you'll earn as a result of doing that. However, your ceiling is capped at, within reason. But salespeople truly do have unlimited earning potential. I mean, there's some salespeople out there that do, between 50, 70, 100 cars plus a month, and I can assure you they make far more than almost anybody in the industry, including general managers. So, aspirations to be a GM, at this point, not really. I think that I like where I am. I'd like to go from here to potential ownership at some point. That would be my aspiration. I mean, I'd be the GM in like a managing partner kind of way, but to be a GM, just to be a GM, not really. I mean, the store that I'm at's a big store, and so I have a lot of GM-like responsibilities here, and I wouldn't want to be. The GMs are just glorified complaint handlers. I mean, it's not a very fun job, to be honest. I had an 82 roof convertible in my wow, nice. Roof, that's very cool. What do I drive? I'm driving an EQS 450 SUV. Swasti's looking to get a GLC 300 2025 within this month. Perfect. You are picking the perfect time, because we have a big amount of GLC inventory that will be arriving very soon. So all the GLCs are finally coming in. Frank, I appreciate you. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you for the kind words, my friend. Josh, yes, 2 kids, 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. Well, almost 2 and 4. 2 boys, so it's starting to turn into WrestleMania at my house. Stacy, if only I have 2K equity with my X1, should I wait a year to build more equity and lease? Well, you have to know whether or not you're on the path to equity to make that decision.
Are you equity on your dad's car?
Which one? Oh, Targa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long is it here for? Is it here till Monday?
Yeah.
Can I do Monday?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah, the weather will be nicer.
Perfect.
Why has every auto dealer I've ever encountered behaved in ways that guarantee a bad reputation? I always want repeat customers when I was... Mark, unfortunately, odds are that more than half of the dealers out there just are old school mentality, and they just don't do a great job overall. There's no other way to say it. So if you are not doing the research on the dealership that you want to work with ahead of time, it's a better than good chance that you're going to get a bad experience. I hate to admit that. I mean, I wish that it was different. And I'm on what seems like futile mission to improve the industry in every way that I possibly can. So the advice that I give that people just skip is they spend all of this time researching the car that they want, the brand they want, the model they want, the options, the colors, all that. They really hone in on the car that they want, and they completely skip researching where they want to buy it from. Right? If it's a used car, they just find the car, and like wherever it is, well, I guess it's a dice roll, what kind of experience I'm going to have. Or if it's a new car, they might do the same thing. They might find the perfect new car, reach out to that dealership, have a terrible experience. Or they might go to a dealership that's nearby and reach out and have a terrible experience. I mean, you've got to treat a dealership the same way you would maybe a hotel or a restaurant or a place that you're going to go on vacation, where it's like you want to read the reviews of what other people are saying so that you don't go in flying blind. That's what I would encourage. So it will increase your odds of having a better experience. Jimmy, my thoughts on Delivered. I like Tommy. I think that he has built an incredible business. I think that, he is doing things in a very helpful way for consumers and dealerships. And honestly, I think that dealerships that don't like him need to look in the mirror and be better, quite frankly. I mean, his phone calls, listening to his phone calls should tell you all you need to know about what happens when you don't research the dealership that you want to buy from, right? Because what he's doing is he is sourcing, he's shopping dealers to make sure that his consumers are getting the best price. But a lot of times he's reaching out to dealers that have the specific car that a client wants. And you can see what happens when you do that, right? If a specific dealer has this dream car that I want, and you reach out to them, and then you have this terrible, terrible experience, that's just how it goes.
I'll actually have the key for it for tomorrow, because I'm going to stop up here and do a car tomorrow, so Steve's just going to have it parked up there. So
Cool.
Daddy Digger, is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So, SFL, thank you for saying that. That's very kind of you. And Perfect Spec, thanks for all your transparency in this. You made the thought of buying a new car a lot less intimidating. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's the goal. Eric, hi Doug, just wanted to stop by and say hi. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate that very much. So Espar, I get a demo as part of my compensation plan for working at the dealership. So I get to pick a car in inventory and I'll drive it for either until we sell it or a couple thousand miles, and then we'll sell it after that. Trevor, thoughts on Alex at EV Auto? I like Alex a lot too. He's a really good dude. Super cool story. No automotive experience at all. So I like that about him. If you watch his videos, he really does things the right way. He takes care of people. He cares about doing things the right way. So, fellow sales manager here, except in cybersecurity space, do you get a base plus commission? No, I'm totally commission.
This is my insurance group.
What's
Joe
up?
Cutchin on Monday.
Okay.
Monday morning, or 11 a.m.
How'd things leave off with that?
Good. He gave me a 9 on a 1 to 10.
Oh yeah, what gets him to a 10?
Just has to make sure his dad can co-sign. Dad co-signed on the last one, and
Gotcha.
so let's talk over with him.
So there's no way that it would happen without a cosigner?
According to him, he thinks not. So,
And he doesn't want to try to find out?
well, I offered that. He's like, so he was also in a rush just because he hasn't eaten all day. So he's like, I'm really just hungry. He's like, it sounds good to me. The payment's better than what I thought. This is the car. So he said, call me first thing Monday morning. I'll talk it over with my dad on the weekend.
Okay.
And
Worst case scenario, we can always try it with just him. I mean, if he's been making his current car payments on time,
okay.
right, that will bode well.
All right.
But, all right. Cool.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did you submit that deal by any chance?
Which one?
Joe Cutchin? It's going
No.
at 11 on Monday, so I just want to.
No, I'll work on that here before we leave.
Thank you.
If you're letting salespeople take phone calls unvetted, what do you mean unvetted? Watch your interview on Car Dealership Guy. Did you get to say everything you wanted or not? It was very good and you came across. Yeah, I mean, I answered the questions that he was asking, so I don't know if I got to say everything I wanted or not. I think that, I think it was a good interview, and I was just happy to be a part of it. If I wanted to come custom build an AMG G63 but never owned a Mercedes before, do I have to build rapport? Yeah, Cam, so there's a lot of videos where I go over our process on how to get a G63, and you would have to be a G-Wagon client of the store first. So you would have to either buy a pre-owned G-Wagon that we have, or a G550 or a G580, something that was available, and then you would enjoy that and trade it back in on a custom G63 that you'd get for MSRP. Buy or lease a 25 G63, either or. There's no right or wrong way to do it. They hold their value extremely well, so some will lease it so that they can write it off. They prefer that from an accounting perspective. Others will buy it. I mean, that's one car where it really doesn't matter how you pay for it. Larry, when buying a used car, can you expect to get some money off their asking price? It just depends on the dealership you're buying it from. Is the car priced appropriately or not? For us, we always put our best price up front on a new car or a pre-owned car, and we have a kid that we hired out of college who, for used cars specifically, all he does all day long is study the market on every used car that we have. He looks at the competitive sets, he compares options and colors, condition of the cars, and he figures out where the market is and then undercuts it a little bit so that we can sell them quickly. So, we are extremely efficient. Sometimes he's changing the price every couple days. Sometimes it's every day, right? But we don't discount the cars based on, from the online price because they're laser accurate, right? Now, other dealers are lazy and they'll take a car in on trade and they'll put it online for sale with a price, and 30 days later they haven't even looked at the car again. They haven't changed the price. So they'll get into a traditional negotiation with you, and yeah, you can get some money off. So it just depends on where you're buying the car from, really. Tamika, how many miles can you buy on a lease? Depends on the manufacturer, but for us, there really is no limit. You can customize a lease with, we just did a lease, for Jared, who was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but he got a 50,000 mile per year lease. So you can do prepaid mile leases. So, DJ from Ireland, thank you for coming to hang out. I appreciate that. Your brand has the highest depreciation of any vehicles outside of the G63. Okay. Yeah, they're luxury cars. They depreciate. So, do you see G550s available for MSRP in Chicago? Yeah, we sell all of our G550s for MSRP. I've got one in stock right now if you're interested. Nice white on red with Night Package Plus. It's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Can a G63 4x4 squared be bought new and spec'd in the US? No, not anymore. Production is over on those. Yeah, luxury cars are, exactly, they're not assets. They depreciate, and that's because people who want to buy luxury cars either want brand new or they want a crazy deal. So, you got to remember that any market for any product anywhere, whether it's a car or clothing or anything, is determined by people's willingness to pay for it. So people that buy luxury goods, they don't want used luxury goods that are barely less expensive than new luxury goods. Right? That's different than somebody that is buying more of a consumer, like a Toyota or a Honda. No disrespect to those brands, they're amazing cars, but that is more of a need than a want. So somebody will pay a little bit less for a used one versus a new one because every dollar matters, right? But somebody who's paying $150,000 for a new Mercedes isn't going to pay $140,000 for a used one. They just won't. They'll step up and buy a new one. Right, that's what pushes the market, the value of those cars down. From PA, and thanks for the education. Michael, I appreciate you coming to say hello and hanging out and watching the videos. Thank you so much. Do you have Skoda over there? No, I don't think so. What's the going commission percentage for sales manager? Is it based on MSRP or total lease? I'm not sure how to answer that question, Jay, because commissions are store specific. Every store pays people differently. What's up?
We have our PO. Can you do your metrics so I can tag, please?
Yep. So.
I know you're occupied, but.
I am. I'll be done here in about 5 minutes. 5-minute warning so that Colin doesn't
I haven't talked
bother
to you
me
all
the
day,
rest
so
of the day.
do not even throw me under the bus, because I have not even really said a word to you today, since I spoke out in the meeting.
I'm not throwing you under the bus, buddy. What would you do or sell instead of car industry if you had to? Boy, I really haven't thought about that in a while. I would probably get into sales training. I think would be where I would go. Right, that's something that I really enjoy doing. I do it every morning for our morning meetings, and I think that sales training is. Yes, I do. I'm in a car dealership, but a lot of the concepts are kind of broadly applied to other industries. So I think that's probably the route that I would go if I was not going to do car sales anymore. Enthusiast, I personally am very into electric cars. I get it that, they don't have the sound and the vibe of a nice V8. And don't get me wrong, I love a good sports car, a good AMG. But as a commuter car, now that I started driving the EVs to get familiar with them, and I just haven't stopped. I mean, they're just, man, I love them. They're heavy, they're solid, they're smooth. Now, when I get into a car that has a transmission, it frankly annoys me. So, is it common to have equity in a lease? No. Leases really are not designed to have equity. Diazepam, no, we have technically 2 GSMs. We have myself, and then we have Mike Ryba, who's the GSM of the pre-owned building. Do you think the G580 will hold its value? Lorenzo, that's the million-dollar question. We will find out. Is there an incentive on S63s? There's not an incentive, really. I mean, there is the lease cash that they qualify for, but currently no incentive outside of that, other than just willingness to discount. Is it worth getting vehicle protection for a CPO S63 Cabrio, road hazard rim, entire dent and interior? So I would recommend for any, depending on where you, and really I recommend it for anybody, but tire and wheel is, I think, an absolute no-brainer on any car. These tires and these wheels are insanely expensive these days. Those protection packages pay for themselves, right? I mean, these something like an S63 Cabrio could be a $300-400 tire, right? If you pick up a nail or you hit a speed or a pothole, right? And if you bend a rim, game over. So tire and wheel protection packages are an absolute, they're amazing. Paintless dent repair, don't think you need that. And then ceramic is amazing. Make sure it's true ceramic and not like a wax. Waxes don't really do anything. Ceramics are great. Do you have any Sealy 53s with forged wheels? Yes, I do. What does shipping usually cost? Just depends on where you live. So anywhere from $300 on the low end to, most places are going to be anywhere from $500 to $750. And then if, all the way across the country, it might be $1,000 to $2,000, depending on whether we're doing open or enclosed. What would you name your own dealership? I don't know. That's a great question. I'd really have to think about that. I don't know what vibe I would go with that. It would depend on what it was. I mean, I would like to have, I'd like to be in a franchise dealership. I don't really want to do an independent used car dealership. But thank you to everyone, by the way, for hanging out today on a Saturday. If you're not following already, I would love and appreciate a follow. Or if you're over on YouTube, please subscribe if you haven't already. And really appreciate everyone hanging out. And make sure you're liking and thumbs up and all that good stuff. Euphoria, what's going on, brother? Good to see you as always. Good to see you as always. I appreciate you. You guys have free shipping. We don't do free shipping, no, because we do our best price up front, and giving you free shipping would be discounting the car. So it wouldn't be fair to ship a car to you for free and then not do something for somebody who lives right down the road, right? So it's just, if you're going to get a car from out of state, it's a cost of doing business, right? It's a cost of getting a car from out of state. But I can assure you that for us, our pricing is extremely competitive. To do a best price upfront model, I think the best way to do that is to make sure that you're giving everyone a smoking deal without them having to ask for it, which means that most of our clients will underpay. They'll pay a lot less than they would have if we were a traditional negotiating dealer. But it also means that anything additional, right, has to be included into the deal.
What are you doing? You on live?
Yeah, just
Oh,
live. It's a multi-live though, so
way bigger platform here.
right, because it's Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok all at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So if I bought a car out of state, might be worth flying and driving back versus shipping. Yeah, some people do that, Dan. Some people that aren't terribly far away that have trades will just drive here and drive back. So, yes, Alice, I'm reading comments from Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So some of the questions you might not see. What was the hardest to value or most unusual trade-in you've had? Well, I mean, recently we had that 2004 Thunderbird. That was pretty unusual.
Oh, yeah.
That only had 15,000 miles on it. That one was pretty tricky.
It's cool to see those. Yeah, those are tough to appraise.
How can I contact you about a Sealy 53? So if you go to the link in my bio, there's a link there that says work with, Doug Horner, work with me and the team. Go to that link. It's on our dealership website. Just put your information in and we'll be in touch. So Euphoria, I don't know if you kind of saw the news from Mercedes last week, but it looks like the E63 will be next year. That's when we can expect it. So, Michael, why do you have to get a 50 or 550 before you get a 63. You don't have to get a G550 necessarily. It's just we have a process in place to identify people that want a long-term relationship with us and that are current clients of the store to get G63s. So the G63 market just continues to be a complete mess, and it honestly, it's terrible, right? I'll give you an example. This is a real phone. I don't know if you heard about this, but we got a phone call today from somebody asking us to appraise a 25 G63
Yeah.
with delivery miles on it, right? So this person, just got the car, is to the best of my knowledge, and immediately wants us to put an appraisal on it, which tells me that person is looking to see how much money they can make on the deal.
Yeah.
Right. So my first thought is that maybe they got it for MSRP, from a dealership they had a relationship with, or whatever. Well, we come to find out he actually hasn't even bought the car yet. He's been offered the car by a dealer that he's worked with over the years, and again, looking to see if he can make a profit on it. They're offering it to him for $25K over MSRP. Wants a number from us.
We'd have to sell for a certain amount to actually even.
Right.
Yeah.
But that right there is exactly why we identified the process that we did for G-Wagons.
Years
because
ago.
people are just, there's a certain percentage of people that legitimately want to drive them and enjoy them. There's a certain percentage of people that are just trying to flip them and make a profit.
Yeah, we're not interested
Right.
in the flipping part. Obviously, we're an AMG Performance Center, so we get so many of them a year. We're interested in getting loyal clientele, right? Obviously, I scratch your back, you scratch my back type of deal, and you have some clients that are getting them yearly, every 2 or 3 years. I'd say a lot of our clients, like you said earlier, are driving them every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And then they put in a new order, and we get that one back. They get fair, trade, value for that, and in return we give them MSRP. So
100%.
it has stood the test of time for the past 3, 4, 5 years, and we will continue to do that.
Yep. This is Ryan, by the way. Ryan is the new car sales manager for anybody who hasn't met Ryan before. So Ryan is the one that's out on the front lines with the sales team on a daily basis.
There was a guy in there in the live chat. His name was Jay. He was asking a question about our morning meetings. Do we go over things every day, and what's the main focus? So I thought that was a pretty good question, because we treat our morning meetings with great purpose.
Yeah, we do. The Aaron G63s are 100% not readily available for MSRP. I challenge you to go buy one.
Yeah, that's very true. And Jay, we focus on a lot of different things. A lot of times we'll focus 1 week on one main thing, whether it's, paying attention to details in the sales process and going over different things in the sales process. Next week it might be sciences of persuasion, and going over, reciprocity, liking factor, consistency, consensus, stuff like that. Or it could just be part of our process is something that we need to clean up, getting tidy on. There's always a different focus every week, sometimes different days, but there's never not a meeting that is just thrown into the wind.
Company gave me a $600 allowance after insurance. Is there any Mercedes I can lease for this? After insurance? I don't know what you pay for insurance, but EQB, you could drive for that probably. And yes, Dave Ramsey, who hilariously, as somebody who works for Lexus Financial, told me on the deal, I won't reveal who they are, but apparently Dave Ramsey has 2 leases through Lexus. So
You're welcome, Jay.
do as I say, not as I do, right? Any deals on the 2025 GLC Coupe this month? Well, we finally have some in stock. That's the big news there. GLC Coupes, they're never going to be a deal car because they are, after the G-Wagon, I would say they're the next most lopsided supply-demand car in the Mercedes family. I mean, they just are they always fly off the shelves. They hold their value extremely well. They're almost never available. The Aaron, I just bought one for slightly under MSRP and dealer has 4 in stock, and so okay, send me the buyer's order, and send me that dealership so we can go buy them.
Straight up. You can't keep them in stock. They're sold before they come in. Somebody was asking a 911 versus the GT. What's your take on that?
911 versus the GT, they're very comparable cars, just one of them has the history and the heritage and the name, and the other is a relatively new entrant to that segment.
I don't think the GLS 450s have the special rates at $199 for
No,
36 months. That's a GLE 450, GLE 450 hybrid.
100%. Love the content from the UK. Thank you, D3X. I appreciate that. Doug, what do you suggest about my next car? Oh, so, well, I don't know how long you want to wait. That's the real question. I was starting to worry that this was going to get pushed down the road quite a bit. And I think that, it might be end of next year. It could even go into 2027. So I just don't know the timeline that you're on, but it's definitely going to be a little while. And the CLE 63 is going to be on that same timeline. They basically finally acknowledged that an E63 and a CLE 63 are coming, but not until end of 2026 at the earliest. And yes, if you want anyone to contact, the easiest way to get a hold of us is just click on the link in my bio. That'll take you to my link tree. And from there, find the link that says work with me and my team. And just put your information in there and we will be in touch.
Marcos, you're asking about if it's cheaper to buy in Florida by your dealership or us. I guess it just depends on what the Florida dealerships are offering and what type of model vehicle you're looking at.
Yeah. Again, it might be, it might not.
Yeah.
I hear conflicting stories on Florida dealers all the time. Sometimes I hear that they have outrageous dock fees down there. So that, on average, they have like a $1,500 dock fee,
Yeah.
which is way more than Ohio dock fee and the cost to ship a car down there.
For sure.
So again,
Yeah.
and it all depends on what you want. If you're looking for just the best deal, the cheapest payment ever, and you don't care about the experience and having a relationship, then yeah, you shop around long enough, you'll find one maybe locally that'll be less. But if you want it to be really, really easy, and you want to be able to pick up the phone and talk to us and we work with you, etc., then that's what we aim for. So we may not always be the least expensive option, although we a lot of times are.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we give, obviously we give strong deals, but it just depends on, what car you're looking at and, in general. Alanchi, you were asking about an E63S versus trading it in on a GT63S. Personally, I like the E63S. He has a 2021. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a V8. Those things roar.
yeah,
Love them.
The new E53s are hot. Euphoria. You might consider one of those. In the meantime, maybe a 24-month
Value-wise,
lease. The new
I was gonna say value-wise though, like on the GT, I feel like those lose kind of hard in comparison. I don't know. The E63 there's only so many of them, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Bill's lover would pay twice as much on a lease just to not have to deal with me. No, you wouldn't. How does sales tax buying out of state in Arizona? So we can, depending on how you buy the car, if you're going to finance it or lease it, we have to collect the tax for you, and we will remit it to the state and then handle title registration, etc. If you're paying cash, you could technically choose to handle all of that on your own. It would be up to you. But
Toyota 4Runners, tend to hold their value pretty well.
yeah, we can custom build it, Euphoria. We can do that.
Watching from New Zealand.
Yeah, we've got Ireland, Scotland, New
There's a guy over your
Zealand, all kinds of
shoulder.
stuff. Yes,
Ryan.
we can custom one. Yeah, this is Ryan. And Dean, I forgot to answer your question. We did sell the Thunderbird, by the way. So that just happened a couple days ago. And Ohio's dock fee is $387. Tyler, too late for the Wednesday glitch prices. Yeah, if the deal wasn't worked on Wednesday, then we're all out there. Yeah, I've seen some pretty. We get Florida worksheets all the time, and routinely they're between $1,200 and $1,500 for a Florida dock fee. It's crazy. So, but we got about 5 minutes left in the day, so I'm gonna sign off for now and get everything teed up for the end of the day. But I do appreciate you all hanging out, and if you're not following already, would love and appreciate a follow. Nikki, thank you for sending the tiny dinies. I appreciate you very much. We're off to a hot start. I hope you are as well. So we've got 6 on the board for new, and pre-owned I'm sure has a few more. But yeah, it's been a busy day. A lot of action today, which is always great. What do you think? Do you think the AMG Black Series, if not driven, will increase in price over the next decade? It definitely will. At Black Series at a certain point,
Have a good one, guys.
always will start to go up. So I don't know when, but I'm confident it will at some point. So Thank you to everybody. Appreciate you all. Have an awesome weekend if I don't talk to you. Really appreciate the support and the love and the follows and the likes and everything else.